Welcome to the Arrington Gavin Show. Real talk, big opinions, and fearless conversations. From the front lines of politics to the latest in pop culture. From breaking sports headlines to the stories that move the world. Nothing's off limits, and nobody's holding back. Arrington Gavin is here to break it down, build it up, and keep it all the way real. So turn it up, lean in, and let's get into it. This is the Arrington Gavin Show.
What's happening, ladies and gents? Welcome to the Arrington Gavin Show, your go-to spot for sharp insights, bold opinions, and unfiltered takes on the biggest stories of the day, whether it's politics, sports, pop culture, or the latest buzz. Look, we're diving deep and keeping it real, so please do me a favor, kick back, stay informed, and get ready to join the conversation. Hope you all are having a wonderful evening. Thank you so much for chiming in with us on the show. Look, what we got on tap for you all. ICE agents takes another life in the city of Minneapolis, in Minnesota, as the protest continues to grow in the state of Minnesota, where ICE agents has been seen as enemies, and it's escalating. It's continued to escalate in what they call sanctuary cities, mostly blue states and blue cities. But Minneapolis has happened to be the most watched part of the United States due to the recent actions of ICE. We all remember, Renee Good lost her life in the hands of an ICE agent, was gunned down by an ICE agent. Now we have another individual. His name is Alex Pretty. Now I recently did a mini pod in real time on my just reaction of the story. So I'm gonna talk a little bit more about that with you all. Obviously, more information will continue to circulate and more proof and this and that and the other. But I'm just giving to you so far what I have and what has been shown to the public that maybe not everyone has heard or seen. So we're going to talk about that later on in the program. Also, Don Lemon, he how can you say it? He avoided, he is victorious. I would assume. The DOJ was looking to arrest Don Lemon after the recent after the former CNN host was gathered along with other ICE protesters, and they invaded a church service. They entered into a local church in that area because one of the ministers happened to be an ICE official. So they went in protest, disturbed the service, and the rest was history from there. Don Lemon happened to be a part of that group that entered in. He had his cameras, his and live streamed on his channel. So many folks have been criticizing those protesters as well as Don Lemon. So says here that the appeals court rejects DOJ's emergency bid to arrest Don Lemon. So we'll talk about that. He's just in the news everywhere. I mean, like he got beef with Nicki Minaj. Out of all people, Nicki Minaj is the last person to talk. And then you have I won't say well-known minister. He's known for making a fool of himself. Bishop Wooten, I think he's out of Carolinas. He uses his pulpit, in my opinion, for clickbait, for the wrong reason. He continues to use it as a political stage. He continues to, and that's not because I might not always agree with his stances, but he has props for days. To me, I think he uses the pulpit for a different purpose, in my opinion. Let's see here. And also I want to share with you again, because I haven't had the time to, which I'll start that off in the beginning of the show, about a lawsuit that happened in my home city that has been that had made national news. So we'll talk about that and more here on the program. As we continue this convo, y'all, I gotta thank you, the people, the listeners, the viewers out there, for your continued support of the Arrington Gavin Show. As you know, we are a growing grassroots program. We see growth each and every day. Our YouTube channel is growing in subscribers and viewerships, and I just want to thank you for those who are just now tuning into the show by way of our YouTube channel. Please be sure to like, subscribe, share with a friend, share with family. If you like what you see, I'll truly appreciate it. We drop new episodes Monday through Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts, whether that's Spotify, Apple, iHeart, you name it. We're available on all major podcast platforms. In addition to that, you can also check out past episodes of the Arrington Gavin Show on Goatverse TV. That's right, Goatverse TV. Ways you can check that out is simply by downloading the app. It's free. It's available on the App Store, Google Play Store, Roku, and Amazon Fire TV. It's an amazing app filled with so many great programs, not just programs like myself, but so much more. You have music shows on there, right? Music competition shows. You have rap battles. Excuse me, I had to sneeze there. You have rap battles. You have award shows. So much great programming available on this app. I kind of got it right there on my phone right there. So it's an amazing app. I tune in most of the time to Goatverse TV. So be sure to support. You can also, my friends, listen to the Arrington Gavin Show on the radio airwaves. That's right. We are on a few affiliates. So honored to be on those affiliates. Shout out to our fam out in New Orleans, WBOK 1230 AM. Shout out. You can tune into the Arrington Gavin Show Monday through Fridays at 7 p.m. Central Time. And then we're going to head over to the Metro Atlanta area to WDJY 99.1 FM Straight Talk. You can tune into the show Monday through Fridays at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we're going to be sharing some amazing news later on. So be on the lookout for that. Be sure to follow us on our social media platforms. Be sure to check out our amazing, there we go, this side right here. I provided a QR code for those who are watching us. I provided a QR code in the top corner there. That leads you to our website, okay? www.theagshow, A as in Apple, G as in George, show.com. So that can keep you up to speed of things we got going on. It leads you to our social media. It leads you to up to date episodes. There's a tab there how you can contact me by way of email. And so just again, if email me some topics or some issues that you want to hear me talk about. Look, I'm an open book. I don't discriminate. I don't pick sides here. I just share my opinion. If it's something that it seems a bit unfair in my opinion, then I'm going to talk about it. If I see something that I think is not right, I'm going to talk about it. Okay. If I see somebody stirring up the pot, because we got agitators out here in the world. We have people that just want to add more fuel to the fire. That exists. So we're going to talk about it, y'all. And so much more. So again, thank you. You are with us, tuning in with us here on the Arrington Gavin Show. What do we have? Let me see what I have next with you all. Let's see here. And I think if we have time, I might talk a little bit about the Democratic primary race for U.S. Senate happening in Texas. I know recently Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett and State Representative James Tellerico just had a debate. So we'll share a little bit about that, but not too much. But we are going to share some clips from highlight clips from that debate, because that one has been bringing a lot of it's been bringing a lot of attention, because we all know Jasmine Crockett is a very popular person in Congress. She's, on both sides, right? She's not liked by the right. She's loved and adored by the left. She has been back and forth with Stephen A. Smith, because folks are saying he is a person that has been always criticizing black women. I'll just be honest. I listen to him a lot. I've never personally seen him always degrading black women. I think folks really, that's, to me, is adding fuel to the fire. And I could be wrong. But I don't see it, because he criticizes. I won't even say, yeah, he criticizes Jasmine Crockett, so all of a sudden he disliked all black women. It wasn't a critique, but he said, uh he gave his response on why he thinks Joyanne Reed lost her show from MSNBC. He said because of ratings. That pissed a lot of people off, specifically Joy, and now she's saying you're paid to please white people. I mean, it's just stuff like that, to me, is gaslighting, but not trying to go off topic there, but just explaining why that is a big election happening in Texas, because you have Jasmine Crockett. You have Jasmine Crockett announced that she is going to be, leaving Congress to run for U.S. Senate, which is a huge. It's a big goal. It's major. To my knowledge, I don't think of a black woman has held the seat as a U.S. senator for Texas. Texas is, I would say, a red state. She succeeded in Congress. I look at her as somebody that holds what I titled the big sister role, because she's not scared of responding to an insult. She doesn't back down. She's unfiltered. It's what the Democratic Party needs. A lot of people has criticized, saying, well, they depict her as like the loud black woman, right? Or I don't like her attitude. What in my opinion, what she does, she responds. She's showing that she has a backbone, because that's what I've been, when I speak with a lot of Democratic voters, they look at the Democratic Party on a federal level as backing down from a fight. And so you have folks like a Jasmine Crockett, who is very popular. Now, James Tallarico, newbie, but he's bringing in crowds. He's not progressive. He's not all the way moderate. He's literally perfectly balanced, and he is just gravitating to a lot of folks. A lot of people enjoy him. He's been on the Joe Rogan show. Okay, I haven't seen too many folks from the left appear on the Joe Rogan show, and so it's good. We'll talk a little bit about it later. Before we head to a quick break, though, I do want to share this. I thought this was pretty interesting. It says here that men who date younger women are often happier. Okay. It says here that age gap relationships have existed across cultures for centuries, often pairing older men with younger women due to social and economic structures. Now, modern research still reflects this pattern. Studies from the Journal of Population Economics and European Social Surveys show men report higher relationship satisfaction when their partner is younger, particularly by 7 to 10 years, linking it to perceived vitality, admiration, and traditionally compatible dynamics. However, the same study notes that long-term stability depends far more on emotional alignments and shared values that age alone. So I think that's quite interesting. There is not a huge age gap from my wife and I, maybe like a year and a half, close to 2 years age gap. So not, I'm older, she's younger, but not a huge age gap. At my age now, would I want to date somebody that's 7 years old? No. Now, if I was, say, 40 and date somebody that's, I feel like maybe 28 is the youngest. You don't want to go too young, because at the end of the day, when when the age gap is so far apart, it's like, okay, what do y'all talk about? Now, if you're just a sociable person, you can really flow in any age gap, or any age, age demographic. But you have men now that, okay, oh yeah, look at my young wife, yeah, she's young, she keeps me young at heart, and this and the other, and that's possible. I think when men younger men date older women, it's different. It's not always that we're gonna keep them young. We want maybe more, someone more seasoned, someone more just, hey, they might want to be taken care of. And the opposite, I don't know. It's interesting. It really is interesting. But we see, of course, in Hollywood and stuff like that, people that date or are married to people that are very, very young. I mean, come on. Al Pacino and Robert De Niro both had a new child at the age in their 80s. Yeah, in their 80s. Disgusting. Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. But yeah, what do y'all think? Do y'all think older men are happier when they have a younger girlfriend or younger spouse by their side? Do you think they're happy, or do you think that's all just a myth? But I think it's an interesting conversation to have. So, all right, I've talked your ear off enough. Let's take a quick breather here. We got some stories to talk about here on the Arrington Gavin Show. Do not go. Do not go. Do not go. Yeah, don't go anywhere. Wow, Arrington. Do not go anywhere. No, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after these commercial breaks.
Every man has a story to tell. Your ambitions, your achievements, your legacy. Your suit should reflect that story, crafted precisely, designed for impact, and tailored exclusively for you. We work with only the finest fabrics, luxurious wools, silk, linen, and blends from world-renowned mills in Italy, the UK, and India. These fabrics are the foundation of custom suits that exude elegance and stand the test of time. But a suit isn't just about fabric, it's about fit, and it's about confidence, and it all starts with you. When you work with me, you'll receive a personalized consultation, whether in person or over Zoom. Together, we'll explore your vision and discuss your needs, and we're gonna bring your ideas to life. My journey as a designer includes apprenticing under New York-based designer Clavon Leonard, showcasing collections at New York Fashion Week, Algeria Fashion Week, and the prestigious Baltimore Met Gala. That experience is what we bring to every suit we create, from weddings to corporate events and everything in between. We specialize in crafting one-of-a-kind suits for life's most significant moments. Dapper Luke has been recognized as one of Baltimore's best menswear in 2023, and I was honored to be one of the 10 designers selected for the prestigious Baltimore Met Gala. With over 900 satisfied clients, we proudly serve Virginia Beach and Baltimore, bringing world-class designs to these incredible communities. We don't just make suits, we craft confidence. Your suit will fit your body, your style, and it will tell your story. Book your free online personal consultation today. Visit www.dapperluke.com.
6'10", number one pick, 16 seasons, College Player of the Year, All-Rookie Standout. Joe Smith built a career on grit, consistency, and showing up.
Greatness isn't just about the game. It's about how you show up every day. Rugged Evolution now offers body care products for every man, because not every man wears a beard, but every man deserves care. Greatness doesn't fade.
It evolves. Rugged Evolution Beard Care. Every beard deserves to be legendary, and every man deserves care.
All right, my friends, welcome back to the Arrington Gavin Show. First up, I want to talk about this lawsuit that happened in my hometown in Chesapeake, Virginia, that has made national news. Let me first share you this story. Let me have a quick soundbite for y'all to check out, and then we'll play that for you. Give me 1 second. There we go.
Somebody break it up.
The attorney for a group of Black women has filed against this restaurant behind me, Cork and Bull Chop House. As I reported back in November, Cork and Bull was at the center of allegations about racial discrimination when a group of 9 Black women say they were asked to leave the restaurant when 2 other Black women that they say they didn't know got into a fight. The complaint cites, quote, wrongful removal, racial stereotyping, denial of service, and verbal assault from Cork and Bull employees. The suit names Cork and Bull, their management company, M&M Hospitality Group, and 2 Cork and Bull employees as defendants. News 3 spoke to one of the 9 women, Shakoya Somerville Holt, back in November after the incident.
No one else was asked to leave but us. It put us in a negative spotlight. And as we got up to leave, it felt like we were doing the walk of shame.
Somerville Holt says when she questioned staff about why they were being asked to leave, she says they responded by saying, quote, because you all like to fight. I went into Cork and Bull on Tuesday. The manager on duty told me the restaurant management does not have a comment about the lawsuit at this time.
So
Somebody break.
let me come out of this right here. So y'all, I have been to this restaurant on many occasions before this event had occurred. I have been going to there for a long time, mostly happy hour. I went, their food is not, it's a how can I put it, it is a upscale-ish restaurant. I mean, it's not, the food's not cheap, but it is a bit overpriced. I think so. The reason why I went there often, because the area where it's newly developed, restaurants and apartments and this and the other, it's it's in my home city. I'm looking at my city, it's growth. Their goal is to make some form of like a town center kind of vibe. So I'm like, okay, look, I want to continue to support. I'm happy that I see improvement in Chesapeake, right? But this really, really just it upset me because, again, I have never been treated like that there, but I have been aware of other people that have said, I felt I got a different vibe when I was there, or this and then the other. My wife's coworkers had shared the same, and I'm just like, you want to make excuses like, well, how do they respond? Or, I never seen that. So, I got to see it to believe it kind of thing. And when this story came out, first of all, it was a viral video showing 2 ladies like going at it, right? Going at it. And it was very sad because, I mean, it was one of those ratchet fights where one chick's, skirt came up and it was nothing under there. And so everybody got to see it, see that. And I don't know how the fight escalated or how it started. But the sad thing is the workers, one of the employees there has said, you all have to leave to a separate party that had no part to do with the fight, just because of the way they looked, because y'all like to fight. Woo! Now tell us how you really feel. Tell us how you really feel. I mean, how dumb can you be? And here's the thing, y'all. Here's the thing. Majority of the consumers that attend Cork and Bull are people of color. Black people has poured their money into making sure that they stay open. Okay. And there and it's not looking good. I'll be honest, it's not looking good. So they have now filed 9 women, which I wish it was more. I really do. I wish it was more, because a $5 million lawsuit going to 9 women, you still gotta pay attorney fees. They ain't leaving out happy. And look, I get it. They're gonna say it's not about the money, but you know what? When you gotta let them feel the pain, sometimes you just gotta look. Money talks, and money really changes things. Hello, we've seen it with Target during the whole boycott of Target. It affected their pockets. It affected their sales. And so there's not really too much I want to add on to that. Again, this is an ongoing case. I hope justice will be served with this lawsuit. I'm gonna try to reach out to some of the individuals that is involved in this case. Of course, Cork and Bull, nobody from Cork and Bull is going to be talking. They're embarrassed, and they know that it's not looking good for them. There was a day where there was a couple of folks protesting outside the restaurant because of what they had heard and this and any other. I mean, it's insulting. It's sad that this is, it's 2026 now. We are having lawsuits of discrimination lawsuits, right? There's a video, this is a side note, but there was a video of there was a video of there was a video, excuse me, there was a video of a white man in Georgia who was, I mean, brutally just racist as racist can be, loose at the mouth, and had, you know, just said the N-word multiple times to a black security guard. Then another video circulates him saying racial slurs again in Georgia. This is the world we live in, y'all. And this is why I get so pissed off with elected officials that try to say, well, look, why do we always have to bring race into this? We are far better than that. We have grown. Look, people can somewhat have an argument. I mean, it's not compared to the era during the civil rights era, because best believe I wouldn't be able to walk in certain spaces or talk with certain. It was a lot worse then, but guess what? To me, it's worse now. The fact that you've already made laws and this and that and the other, yet people still say, I can say whatever I want, I can do this and do that, I'm gonna call you out today. Like, I'm telling you, when it comes to discrimination law, I feel like discrimination laws need to be taken into suit a little more aggressive than it is, right? I don't want to win with just receiving money. Like, I want it to hurt. I want it to hurt. If somebody calls me out of my name, or somebody racially profiles me, like, there needs to be a consequence so that they can understand and learn and not let it happen again. Now, look, you can't change a person's actions. You really can't. You can't change a person's views, but it needs to be put to an end. So hopefully I can reach out to one of the 9 individuals that is involved in this case, along with their attorney, to share this story, because this is major. This is major, and I would love to share about it here on this show, y'all. So let's digress from this, and I want to move it on to talk about Don Lemon, because he's involved in a couple of stories, and then I got another one after that. So Don Lemon recently just he's doing a lot, but I mean, to the point, I mean, it's a good thing for him, because after he was let go from CNN, I mean, Don has been receiving awards. He's been growing his YouTube channel to well over in the millions. I mean, Don Lemon is doing the damn thing. And so I think the most recent viral thing that happened to Don was that he went to Minnesota during the, and it's still going on, but during the ICE protests. And so he had he was doing this thing where he interviews folks in real time, right? He'll walk just during stories, this and the other. He'll almost like man on the street kind of thing, bring the mic, talk with folks. He was doing it with protesters, and he actually joined a group of folks that wanted to protest at a church. Now, and I've talked about it here, the participants, the protesters, they went inside the church and protest, basically, ICE is bad, this and any other, they need to go, they need to leave. And the reason why they went to this church is because a minister was reported to have been or is currently a ICE official. And so they said, oh no, we gotta say something, we gotta do this. And they disturbed a church service. Now, the question was it wrong to protest inside a church, or were they in their constitutional right to do so? Me personally, attending a church service, going inside a church service and protesting, I'm not crazy about it. I'm not. I would not do anything of that nature. I'm a man of faith. I respect other religions too. I will not protest inside of a church. Now, outside, yes, you have the right to do that. That's just like saying, okay, if John Doe is a suspect in something or is charged on that, rather than me going inside his house because I'm at the wrong in that and just protesting outside, that's fine. But when you go inside, no, that ain't cool, bro. That ain't cool. And look, I'm not here to defend ICE officials. I'm just defending the church right now. Okay, I'm defending the church. I think it was not right to go inside of a church and protest. That's just my honest opinion. Now, does that make it unlawful? That I don't know, but I'm aware that it's more lawful to do it outside than to go in and attend inside. Plus, the organizer of that protest had stated that she was welcomed by the church or welcomed by the minister to go. They're showing no proof of that. Okay, there's not showing any proof of that, and I do know her, along with others, have been arrested. There were so many folks on the right that was saying Don Lemon needs to be charged, like Nicki Minaj. Okay, Nicki Minaj, out of all people, are starting to be, the voice. She's starting to, take the role of Amber Rose as, hip hop's newest MAGA supporter. Okay, and Nicki Minaj took to social media as she calls for former CNN host Don Lemon. She called him a thug and says she wants him in jail. She posted on there saying, called Don Lemon a thug and said he should be put in jail. She said, how dare you? I want that thug in jail. He would never do that to any other religion. Lock him up. He's a Christian too. He said that, Nicki Minaj. Now look, again, it's not it wasn't a nice picture seeing people protest inside of jail. I get that. But she is in this new space now, which I just think is quite I think it's quite I think she's being a hypocrite. I really do, because at one point Nicki Minaj in, I believe it was 2008, 2028. Hold on, let me see if I can find it here. Okay, so in 2018, she puts on her social media, I came to this country as an illegal immigrant at 5 years old. I can't imagine the horror of being in a strange place and having my parents stripped away from me at the age of 5. This is scary to me. Please stop this. Can you try to imagine the terror and panic these kids feel right now? Okay, now all of a sudden she's headlining a Turning Point USA, talking with Erica Kirk, siding with Donald Trump and everybody else. I mean, like, again, where is the change? In addition to that, she is married to somebody, to my knowledge, that is on the registered list, sex offenders list, excuse me. I mean, and the reason why I bring all this up is because, Nicki, you're attacking so many people, yet you have baggage of your own. Like, that's what gets me. And she said, I'm trying to find what she had recently said about Don Lemon that was quite offensive, if I might say. She had stated, hold on, let me see if I can find it. Okay. I can't say I'm not going to say the word, but she says Don explicit Lemon is disgusting, and she called him a term that is extremely offensive because of Don Lemon being an openly gay man. Again, folks, Nicki Minaj, the folks that she is criticizing are the same folks who made her what she is. and it's extremely it's disgusting. And I mean, again, this is Nicki Minaj trying to be famous again, because she realizes that no one really cares about her anymore in the public eye. No one, her music is not popping like that. So she's now leaning towards another side and saying, well, let me go here and make a living in the MAGA world, because look, I have no competition. I'm a black woman. I'm a rapper. How many black rappers do you see supporting MAGA? I mean, you got Nelly. You almost had Luda, but Luda said, I don't want no part. I want no part. It's interesting. It's interesting. So they have the back and forth. They have the back and forth going on, and I'm trying to find to see if I have a response clip from Don Lemon. Let me see if I hold tight, y'all. Hold tight. I thought I had it, but I guess I don't. And actually, let me play you. Let me go ahead and share you this this clip. Yeah, because I'm not finding I'm not finding the Don Lemon response, but let me go ahead and show you this one here from let me go and show you this one from DL Hughley. I believe this is clip number let's see, stop sharing this one. See if I can find it. Hold tight, y'all. Hold tight. All right, so this is TMZ recently had caught up with DL Hughley, who is a close friend of Don Lemon, not a huge supporter of Nicki Minaj, and she and he has always been unfiltered and quick to respond on the clickbait. So let me go ahead and play you a little bit of this.
Today is a momentous day for a lot of reasons. We're celebrating the life of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Right. But the backdrop is what it is right now. Right. What do you think he would feel about this?
He would be disappointed in some of the things he was fighting for. He still is, and I think that ultimately he oftentimes is used as a slogan, but nobody ever really embraces the true meaning of his message. The American president has said that he's not above using force to protect their rights. He encouraged those people over there to be violent and to be destructive, while he wanted to use the might and power of the United States military to to attack the government there for being oppressive, while using the power of the government here to squelch free speech. And so it just seems hypocritical. But I think ultimately it is more familiar than it is. This is not new. This is retro.
There was a whole scene that unfolded at this church.
Right.
You saw this, right? Nicki Minaj going after Don Lemon. You see this, like for reporting it.
It was so funny to me. People hate. It's so funny how many on the right hate. They hate transgender and gay people more than they do pedophiles. That's amazing to me. Nicki don't need to worry about Don. She needs to be with damn Don Lemon. And Nicki Minaj needs to be worried about Chris Hansen. That's what she needs to be worried about.
I'm sorry. D.L. Hughley is one of my favorite comedians. He's one of my favorites. D.L. Hughley, I don't know if y'all heard that there, but D.L. Hughley just said, Nicki Minaj don't need to be worried about Don Lemon. She need to be worried about Chris Hansen. Chris Hansen, America's most fun. Oh, that is hilarious. That's why everybody loved D.L. Hughley, because D.L. Hughley keep it real. She need to be worried about Chris. And he's right. It is hypocritical. It is. All of it is. I mean, this is the way the game is played. You have folks saying, okay, one side responding to the other. How can I be the bigger bully? Or how can I battle? Like, the sad part is folks are going back and forth, but the folks that are actually being hit because of the back and forth are people that are not even involved in the fight, if that makes sense. American people are never involved in these political battles. We're we're forced to be involved because what they do affects our way of living. And it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. But in the words of D.L. Hughley, like he said, hey, look, she don't need to be worried about Don Lemon. She need to be worried about Chris Hansen. It's crazy how you attack trans and gay people, but not pedophiles. Woo, woo. Oh wow. Let me stop. Let me stop before I get myself in trouble. More though on Don Lemon. This pastor by the name of Bishop Wooten, he has a church, I believe it's called like the Upper Room something, out in the Carolinas. And Bishop Wooten is, I'm sorry, I hate to always talk about people, but in my opinion, he makes a fool of himself. He's always, I never watched a full sermon, nor do I want to. I told you a fun fact. I have been in the same church as Bishop Wooten, because he officiated or did the eulogy of a close family friend's funeral. So, and it's interesting because that close friend happened to be a Republican who voted for Trump. So again, you kind of see a little bit black and a person of color too, a black Trump supporter, and they exist. Black Republicans, they exist. People don't look at it as foreign. But this individual here, which he never made the eulogy political. I just wouldn't put that out there. The eulogy was not political at all. So I really did get too much of who he truly was until I'm like, okay, let me read up more of him, because he did a great sermon. But then I look and it's the total opposite, saying Kamala Harris is not black or this and that. Like it's little things like that. I'm like, okay, we got one of those now. All right. So anyways, he's always been going viral. He's used his platform to do these viral moments of him just sharing his opinion of what's happening in the public or what's happening in news and what's happening in entertainment, this and the other. So this is what he had to say in regards to Don Lemon, Don Lemon's stint where they had you could say swarmed in or not stormed a church, because again they weren't invited. So stormed in a church. So let me go ahead and share you what the bishop had to say about that.
Don Lemon, don't come here. You roll up in this church doing stuff like that, and it's going to be the Royal Rumble. And the funny thing is, I'm not joking. We have worked hard. We built the church in the name of the Lord. We dedicated it to the Lord. It's built for worship. Our blood, sweat, tears, and finances are in this place. And some people who have never darkened the door of a church and never contributed one dime to it, gonna roll up in here and disturb our service and scare our children and shout obscenities in the church. That will not stand in this church. Freedom of speech doesn't extend to going into someone else's house of worship. And you know what? Them people know that. That's why you never see them going into a mosque, because they know the Muslims ain't having that. I'm not a Muslim, but we ain't having that. And the Bible teaches that we serve a God who teaches our hands to war and our fingers to fight. That's Bible. And these are the times in which we live. No respect for the house of God. All we want our sisters to do is just get out the way. He gets ready to throw a punch, don't grab his arm. Let the Lord have his way, and they'll know not that.
So I'll be honest. I don't disagree with the bishop there. I don't. I told you how I feel about protesters entering inside a church during a sermon. I told you that. I shared you that. And he's not wrong for what he had to say. He's not. He's saying, hey, look, you're gonna come in our place. We disturb our people here wanting to seek a message. I totally get it. He has the right to share that. I normally don't agree with Bishop Wooten, but in this case, I actually do. My question for you all is, and it kind of goes back to the protest thing. Is it still a peaceful protest if somebody enters into a church during a sermon? Is it still considered a peaceful protest? I'll just leave you with that question there. Looking at my time, real quick though, because I had mentioned how so many folks wanted Don Lemon to to be sent to jail. And let me go ahead and read you this by Politico. It says here that I can get my iPad working with me here. Appeals court rejects DOJ's emergency bid to arrest Don Lemon and church demonstrators. Okay, so federal appeals court brushed back a secretive and emergency effort by the Justice Department to revive rejected arrest warrants for Don Lemon and 4 other people prosecutors say committed crimes by barging into a St. Paul's church in Minnesota. Now, a federal magistrate judge had turned down the arrest warrants for 5 people connected to the protesters who disrupted a Sunday service to oppose the Trump administration's deportation operations in Minnesota. Now, the judge's name is Douglas Miko, said prosecutors had failed to present evidence to justify the arrests. Among the rejected arrest warrants were those of former CNN anchor Don Lemon and one of his producers who had advance notice of the protest and were at the church as the events unfolded. Now, senior DOJ officials have specifically called out Lemon, a longtime antagonist of President Donald Trump, and argued that his role as a journalist would not shield him from criminal charges. So even though he won this round, Don Lemon, that is, I do think that the administration is going to continue to do what they can to silence him or to say he needs to, be arrested. Here's where the hypocritical piece comes into play. Okay, what he did, what's the difference between what he did and what January 6 rioters did? Because they actually damaged property. They damaged property, injured people, broke laws, but they were pardoned, Mr. President. So it kind of goes back to my example is people can protest as long as it's in the name of Donald Trump. Now, look, I don't always agree with Don Lemon, and I don't agree with in this case of him going into a church unannounced. But I just call a spade in a sense, right? Two wrongs don't make a right. But if one side gets pardoned for vandalizing, breaking the law, again, this is the law now. Now I'm assuming, or I'm under the impression that you can protest outside of a church. Once you enter in, is that considered trespassing? Because I think there's a law called the FACE Act, if I'm getting that correct. And look that up because we've spoken about it before here on the show. But was Don in the wrong, or was he doing his journalistic duties, and what he did was right? One thing I will say, and I'll end it with this because I got one more story to share with you all. Don Lemon is going to do whatever he can for ratings. That's not me taking a dig at him. Don Lemon works for himself now. He owns his own media company. He knows everything that he puts on. It needs to become viral. He's doing this to continue to get more and more views and more ratings. Now he might also do so because he's passionate and he cares about this cause. But in addition to that, he wants to continue to topple ratings over his previous employer. And he wants to get the more ratings you get, more subscribers, more viewership numbers you get, money starts flowing in advertising. Like, they want that. He wants that. So he's going to do anything he can to go viral. I mean, let's be honest. This man did a whole New Year's Eve special. That was dope, might I say. That was dope. Him turning up and stuff like that, having fun. It was great. But Don's going to do what he can for ratings, in my opinion. But we'll talk a little more about this on another time, because I really do want to share my take on the recent shooting of a individual in Minneapolis, Minnesota, by the name of Alex Pretty. Not gonna have time to talk about Crockett in Tellurico, but I do want to share my take on this here. So how can I start? So I recently did a mini pod, y'all, with my response in real time of what's been happening in Minneapolis, Minnesota. As you know, ICE agents and protest continues to grow in the area of Minnesota. Let me just kind of give you a quick rundown of that. Gentleman's name I mentioned was Alex Pretty, 37 year old ICU nurse at the Minneapolis VA hospital. He was fatally shot by U.S. Border Patrol officers, or Border Patrol agents, excuse me, during an anti-ICE protest in Minneapolis. Now, there's videos that show him being literally brought down to the ground by to me, I count about 5 to 6 ICE agents. They were all on one. Now, this is not a big guy. He's a tiny guy, but they all attacking him, put him down to the ground, this and the other. And then you hear gunshots, pop, 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 and then they just leave the man there laying. Okay. There's one side saying, okay, he was approaching the ICE agents with a gun. He approached officers with a gun, but multiple videos and eyewitness accounts strongly dispute that, showing him holding a phone and trying to assist others, because I think there was a lady that was getting pepper sprayed before they were shoved down. So attempted to shield a woman who had been shoved by the ICE agents and then being pepper sprayed before being attacked. So he's holding a phone and they bring him down to the ground. So let me show you a quick video here. I think I had a few clips I want to share with you all. Let me see here. Let's see. No, that's not it. Well, there is. Okay, so there's one. Can I get that on here? Let me see if I can actually. Yeah, do multiple. Gonna try this out here. Oh no, I guess I can't. Well, here's one clip here, and it's about 6 seconds. This is of the agents here. Okay, now this is really quick here. Now this is on someone's social media that put this up here. It shows them, the ICE agents, taking down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe that's it. This is the gentleman's knees right here down to the ground. All right. So let me go ahead and play this. Now this is not gonna have any sound. This is just a video, y'all, that's more evidence showing. So you see that? You see right there? They go closer and they take something from his back pocket. All right. So this more proof will continue to go out. But that was one of the ICE agents removing something from his back pocket. Now that could have been a phone. It could have been a weapon. Now, when they said that he had approached the officers with a gun, he was licensed to carry a 9mm or a gun. He was licensed to carry. That was his right to carry that. Okay. He never took it out. He never branched against him. No, he didn't do any of that. Okay. He didn't do any of that. Now here's another piece I want to share with you. So this is from a Fox News contributor, Ted Williams, who's a former DC homicide detective, I believe. Here's what he had to say in regards to this. Now check this out. This is from Fox News, by the way. Ted Williams has been with Fox News for years. This is what he had to say in regards to this.
He is well known to our Fox audience as a Fox News contributor, also a former DC homicide detective. As you look at what happened, Ted, on the streets of Minneapolis today, what is first and foremost in your mind?
John, I got to tell you, I've watched that videotape about, let's say, 100 times because I knew I was going to be coming on with you and I wanted to speak as accurate as I can. And I do believe that there needs to be a complete investigation. I was taken back by the White House, who initially put out what I defined as misrepresentation of what took place there when you look at the video. It was said that Mr. Peretti was banishing a weapon. Well, he was not banishing a weapon. Yes, he did have a weapon. It was said that by the White House that Mr. Peretti attacked those agents. No, he did not attack those agents.
He is
acceptable. And then, John, when I looked at the video, what you saw was an agent pushing a woman aside, Peretti getting sprayed, them jumping on top of Mr. Peretti. And this is something that our audience should see with their own eyes. You can see where one of the agents actually physically takes Mr. Peretti's gun. And that is before he shot. And then all of a sudden he shot, there's a pause, and there are more bullets that are shot in his direction. So that investigation, what I'm asking is that there be a complete and thorough and transparent investigation, John, not only by the federal agencies, but also by the state and local investigators also working together.
But, the question I've asked a number of times today, Ted, is who goes to a protest and brings a gun? I mean, was he not asking for some
acceptable?
See, right then and there, that was a perfect example of Fox News trying to hold to their standard on how they do coverage there, because the reporter, clear as day, was like, oh hell, did he just say that he just had a, but I mean, who brings a gun to a protest? Who brings a gun? Here's the thing, who brings a gun to the grocery stores? Who brings a gun? Who brings a gun in general? In my, what I have seen with my own two eyes, I've seen licensed gun owners carry their gun everywhere they go, open carry. I've seen people at pharmacies who's picking up their medicine with their gun. I've seen people that are not in law enforcement. I've seen people at Walmarts holding it with their gun because that's their constitutional right. So Bump saying who goes to a protest with a gun, why do you even need to bring a gun anywhere? That's just my 2 cents with the whole 2A. I'm all for protecting your household, but I will say I think it's a bit off when I do see just random people just walking around with they gun in their holster and they're not in law enforcement. Like, I just that's just me personally. I'll be perfectly honest with that. But Ted Williams right there is absolutely right. The videos, the two clips the first clip I showed you, and we'll talk a little bit more about this later on, y'all, but the first clip I showed you was that it showed the officers removing what it looks to be his gun before they shot him. So again, where was the threat? Where did he deserve to be gunned down and killed? Okay. That's just my 2 cents right there. We'll talk a little more about this later on the show because my time is running limited here, y'all. But until next time, y'all, we got a lot more stuff to share with you. I'll talk about on the next show. And yeah, just y'all take care. Peace and blessings. We'll keep you up to speed of what's happening in our world. But yeah, I'll talk with y'all soon. I'm out.
That's it for tonight on the Arrington Gavin Show. Thanks for tapping in and keeping the conversation alive. Don't forget, stay connected with us on all platforms. Follow at Arrington Gavin on Instagram, Blue Sky, and X, and subscribe to the official Substack for exclusive takes and deep dives you won't get anywhere else. We're here every weeknight, same time, same energy, same real talk. Until next time, stay bold, stay sharp, and stay true. That's what we do on the Arrington Gavin Show. Peace.